Hello, welcome to the Big Bad Marketing Podcast. I'm Janae.
And I'm Brooke, and we are two marketers, coaches, and business owners who have spent literally thousands of hours helping real people grow real businesses without going bankrupt.
This podcast is for solopreneurs, accidental entrepreneurs, and side hustlers who are ready to grow their revenue but have less than $500 a month to spend on marketing.
In each episode, we give you real deal strategy, practical mindset shifts, and the occasional rant about cringy marketing advice from internet business bros, so you can show up and grow, even if your time and budget are tight.
We're here to empower you to build a bigger, badder business. Ready to get started? Let's do
Let's do it.
it. Okay, so today we are going to talk about referral programs. Do you need a referral program or a customer loyalty program for your small business? These are like two huge areas of lead generating and prospect generating efforts that you can take to get more business to your business, and they're so vast. There's so much information. There's so many great ways to do each of these things. I don't even think we're going to get to loyalty programs today. That's going to have to be a separate episode. But referral programs, Brooke, tell us what is a referral program when it comes to a business? What are we even talking about here?
Yeah, and I think it's important to early on to draw the distinction between referral programs and loyalty programs because they are two different things that help lead gen for your business. So, loyalty programs, I think, like you said, we'll probably get to in another episode. Those are things that entice your existing customers to continue to come back and buy from your business again and again and again. And in a former episode, I talked about my favorite pokey restaurant that gives me the 10 punch card, part of a loyalty program, so that when I buy 10, I get my 10th bowl for free. And that is their way of saying, you know what? We know that you like us. And if you keep coming back, we're going to reward you for that. So that is a form of loyalty program that we'll break down in another episode. So, referral programs are the things that you're offering to either existing clients or people in your network or community who know and like you to refer new people into your business. So, that's the key difference between the two. Loyalty programs entice your existing customers to keep coming back as your customers. Referral programs encourage your existing customers or people that like you to refer you brand new business.
Okay, so let's also distinguish between referrals and reviews because both of those are also really powerful tools for getting people interested in what you're doing and seeing the value of what you do, but they also differ greatly.
Yeah. So tell us about sort of where reviews and testimonials come into play.
Okay, so a review and a testimonial are going to live either directly on your site or within your content on a social platform or in an email, or they're going to live on a third party site. Let's say, like a Google My Business page has lots of testimonials and reviews, and maybe another platform like a Trust Pilot is going to have testimonials from people who have used your service. And so these are places where either you might ask your customers to go fill out a review, or on their own, they're going to fill out a review and speak about their experience working with you. And when you're getting reviews, especially when you're asking for them, you want to point people to highlight all of the great things you've done, the value they got from your product or service, specifics of what was so good about their experience with you, so that now either strangers or referees, so people who have been referred to work with you, can check it out and be like, yes, that's on my list. I want that. Oh yeah, that's great to know. There's follow through. They do a great job at customer service, la la la, right? Whatever your really strong points are. So that's where reviews are going to live. And then referrals are going to come from, like you mentioned, Brooke, your warm leads, people who know you and like you and have had a great experience with you, or your existing customers. And you're going to ask these people to say, hey, you have had a great experience, at least like we hope you have. Can you go out and recruit for me a few more people that you think that, let's say, that you like, that you think will benefit from using this service too. Yeah. Does that feel like
Yeah.
around what's going on here? Okay.
Yeah.
So then,
So is it a common practice to incentivize someone to leave a review?
ooh, yes. And I have actually seen content from Google specifically saying, please don't do that. Please don't. Because often it's incentivizing customers, and rightfully so, who have had a good experience versus asking every customer to leave a review. And maybe it's not like Google's best practice, but in general, if you want your business to succeed, most likely you are going to lean into asking people you know have had a good experience. Typically, you might qualify them first by being like, fill out this survey. And if they did have a good experience, you might point them to go now, fill out a review, please. We'd love it. And if you do, we're going to give you this reward.
Yeah, and I have seen certain systems give a little more transparency when it comes to reviews that have where the person writing the review received compensation in some form. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you'll see sometimes on Amazon, like this review was written in exchange for a free product. I think that's one that I've seen before, so that you can sort of, as the potential consumer of the thing, validate okay, these are real organic reviews that people posted because they had a great experience versus these people were in essence paid to create this
Sure,
review.
sure.
Yeah,
Compensated in some way. And
right.
I'm remembering when you and I spoke on an episode before about typically someone is going to, like, of their own volition, organically be driven to leave a review because they had a superb experience or because they had a terrible experience. And those middle ground places, really not so much in an organic standpoint. So I'd be curious to see if those sort of incentivized reviews land more in the middle, just because they're like, I had to get paid to do this. So, I was neither here nor there. Like, it was
Right.
fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, it was fine.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, now we kind of understand reviews and testimonials, and then referrals. But what does it mean to have a referral program?
Yeah, a referral program is just an organized way to ensure that when someone refers someone to your business, you are doing something to thank them. And that's probably the simplest definition of it. And businesses, especially small businesses, can manage this in a lot of different ways. And sometimes it's as simple as someone comes into your store and says, hey, I heard about you from Joe over at the pizza parlor. And maybe you give Joe a call and say, hey, thanks for sending over that customer to my store from your pizza parlor. That was really great of you. And it can be that simple to do
Mm-hmm.
that's of course an unofficial type of referral program, but you're still thanking the referrer for sending someone to your business. There are also platforms that can help you with tracking referral programs. And when you see a really large company say, refer 5 friends and you'll get a $100 gift card, they have tracking mechanisms in place and tools behind the scenes that are tracking with maybe a specific URL code that they give you through your account so that when you share it with friends and they sign up, there's this automatic ticker that happens. So when you click up to 5, they're going to automatically send out the gift card. And obviously, for larger businesses, that's a thing that they can do. More
And
commonly for smaller businesses, it's a spreadsheet, right? This person came in and they said it was Joe at the pizza parlor. And
sure,
so
they
I'm going to
sign
put
there.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like a lot of times when you're onboarding a new client or bringing someone in, there's a space for how did you hear about us?
Yep.
So often that's the reason they're asking that question, is to figure out who referred you or what marketing platform or tool they're using that captured your attention so that they can go put more energy into that. Right. And if no one says, I found out about you on Thumbtack, you might pull your efforts from Thumbtack and redirect them to something that did generate more referrals.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to mention when you're describing this kind of system and how simple it can be for a small business, and especially a small business owner who's sort of like tight on time and softwares and doesn't have all of the wherewithal just yet to build the automation because the volume is so low, when you are at scale like that, I often like to consider that a referral program for such a big business system is really an affiliate program, right? And maybe our listeners right now can better make sense of of how a referral program can scale and what it really means. Because when I think of an affiliate program, I'm like, okay, I mean, we are not, let's say, blanket statement, like this is not an advertisement and we do not participate right now in affiliate programs, but we use Squarespace. And this is the equivalent of when Squarespace is like, send out this link to your friends, get them to sign up for Squarespace, and then we'll reward you with a 10% discount next month or a commission for everyone who signs up. And we see this all over the internet. Maybe like you look up blogs and you like some particular recipe person or whatever. Every time you buy the products that they're promoting for their recipes, like this food item or this blender or this pot, right? Like they're getting money, they're getting a commission for that. And that's through an affiliate link, which is basically just a large scale referral program.
Yeah. And probably warrants a separate episode about affiliate programs, when it's the right time to become a part of an affiliate program, things like that. But yes, for all intents and purposes, at scale, an affiliate program, exactly what you're saying, is a referral program. And to take us back really quickly, if you are not asking your customers how they found out about you, do it now. Make that something you start doing now. And in the very early days of business, that can be part of your first conversation with a customer, whether they pop into your storefront or they email you about your services or you hop on a phone call. Hey, by the way, how did you hear about us? And to Janae, your point, that's how you figure out which marketing channels your leads are coming from. And in the case of a referral program, lets you very easily reward the person who sent them your way. So, what are the most common types of more sort of traditional referral programs that we see in the wild?
Sure. So big is money exchange. I would say that's the top one. And it's like, get a $25 gift card if someone you send our way signs up, or get just $25. We'll send you a check, right? So this sort of just financial exchange, we'll give you money, we'll give you a gift card. You got someone to sign up for us. Everyone's happy because the person who signed up gets this new product or service they like, and the person who referred them gets a little, I don't mean this in the negative sense, but like a kickback because they helped you get a new lead. And then another common option is like, if you get someone to sign up, we will reward you with more services or more of whatever it is you have engaged us for. So I'm thinking about like when I was doing yoga programs or like teaching yoga, if someone was signed up and they got someone else to sign up, they'd get a free month of passes or they'd get an extra drop-in class, something like that. I'm sure you have something like that when you're doing personal training.
Yeah. Yeah. If you refer someone, you get a free session or an extended session or something like that.
Yeah, which would be another variation of that is like, and I think that's probably a more big bad marketing aligned way to do it, is moving away from adding more, like, what am I trying to say here? Instead of giving an additional free thing, which we're often like, don't give discounts, don't devalue what you're doing, add value. So I love the way you said that, like making the session longer is a way to do that. Like you get extra time during this session versus like, we're going to meet on a whole other day and do it like that.
Yeah, I
Um,
think the free and the discount, I think most businesses do it because it is easy. It is easy to understand, it is easy to implement. And when we started Big Bad Marketing, our first iteration of the referral program was a $25 Amazon gift card because that was a very easy way for us to thank someone. And we know that everyone in the world uses Amazon. So if you need just an easy place to start, I think things like that can be okay. But eventually, maybe you choose to turn more in this direction of let's see how we can add value to the relationship and not necessarily discount or give things away for free or lose money on our end because of it.
Sure. I think in general, our philosophy is like start somewhere, just
Yep.
start with what's easy, start with what's simple. You can always iterate, rebuild, change, modify, adapt, use data to make more informed decisions. But especially like you're saying, as we started, like we didn't have enough data to help us drive a more formal decision. So that was like we just know we want to have a referral program. We want to incentivize people to send more people our way. So this is our starting point, and now it's evolved over time.
Yeah. So as we think about sort of iterating on the referral program, there are ways that you can do it that sort of get a little more interesting, some of which might require a little bit more legwork on your side. So one
Mm.
example of that being more of a like tiered referral rewards program. So in a traditional cash for referral program, you might say for every person you send us who signs up or buys one of our products, we are going to send you a $25 Amazon gift card. And that can just happen 10, 20, 30 times if that same person keeps referring people who keep signing up with you. The tiered version of that would be, hey, for your first five referrals, you'll get an Amazon gift card. For your next three referrals, you'll get a restaurant gift card, something you'll get our product. Like you can do it in a
Okay.
way that makes sense for your business. And especially if you sell products, say you're a t-shirt store and somebody refers to you for orders over $100, maybe that's your threshold for it. And we'll sort of talk about some of those things you can think about later on. Maybe it's a t-shirt for the first one and then different type of merchandise you offer, or a polo or something that's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
another step up but still in the realm of the thing that you do.
Sure. So you're increasing the value of the offer and the ask every time they're sending you, or I like, here's an interesting, as a spitball, just while we're talking about this, like if you send us a lead who generates this range of money to our business, you get this as the reward versus
Mhm.
if you send someone who signs up for this or buys a much higher dollar amount worth of stuff, you get a much more valuable reward, which is like instead of every 10 people you send us, you get a new layer of thing, right? It's
Yeah.
just a different way to do it. But I think the principle still stands of being tiered.
Yes. And
Um,
having to track then the number of referrals
yes.
that the person sends you to make sure you're providing them with the appropriate reward for the level or the tier that they fall into.
Sure, sure. And I also want to touch on 2 points here. One is where there's another style and or angle of reward programs is to give both the person who is referring, so the referee, and the person who has been referred, the refer, no, maybe I'm
Yeah.
saying that in the wrong way.
Referrer
The
and
referrer
referee.
and then the referee. Yeah, I was like, oh, the referee. um Giving both people a reward or an incentive. So that way your warm outreach, your network, someone who knows and likes you, consent, your customer, right, is incentivized to get someone to you. And then the person that they've brought in is also incentivized to sign up or buy a product because they're getting also something out of it, which doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing, but bringing sort of some good enticement to both parties there.
Yeah. What are some popular examples of this for the audience?
Yeah, well, back to our personal training example, I'm thinking both people get a free session. If someone signs up because of the referral, both people are going to get a free session, or both people are going to get that Amazon gift card, or maybe like premier access to your software, or whatever it is that you do, something related to what you do. Both people get the free t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those kind of dual-sided referral programs can be helpful in certain contexts, but keep in mind they also cost you more for your
Mm-hmm.
business.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely call me old school. I lean
Old
on the
school.
side of I am a little old school. I lean on the side of, the point of a referral program is to reward the referrer. The person that they have referred, they get the benefit of the product or the service that you're selling. And that should be enough.
Sure.
Because they like in my mind, I'm like, well, they didn't do anything. They just came based on a really solid recommendation and they're doing something that's going to help them live their life better. I just don't see the
Okay.
need to it's a, hot take, maybe
I
unpopular
was going to say,
opinion.
this is a little bit of like a hot take debate moment for us because I'm like, I love the idea of them feeling even more excited to join in because they're going to get some added value, t-shirt, whatever it is, extra access. And then I feel like on the other side, they're going to just be more happy with their experience because not only did they get in at a special option and buy referral, and they get all the benefits you're talking about, which is like the great value that you provide, but they also got an incentive, like something more exciting.
Yeah, I think this is another reason, though, why we tend to advise against discounting. Because when you do that in the realm of a dual-sided referral program, someone then is coming in at a discounted rate, and it's going to be really, really hard to get them to continue at your full price rate after a certain period. So keep that in mind if you are thinking about the discount route. Just know that that
Rethink
might,
it.
yeah, maybe just rethink it or just think about it a little bit longer. I don't know.
Yeah, which this is a great lead into the other point I want to make, which is this is a lot of business numbers and business math. Can those pieces of your foundation can come in handy now? Like we didn't just tell you to go do business math in our one of our previous episodes because it's like we want to do math. But when you understand customer acquisition costs, so how much it costs you to find and bring in a new customer, you can make a very data driven decision about the reward you want to offer. So that way, if it costs you, let's say you're paying for ads or something online, and it costs you $50 to bring in a new person through ads, right? This is a made up example. You might figure out that it actually only costs you $8 each to buy a t-shirt for both of your people, or only the $8, right, for the referrer. That's $16. And if that's enough, you're like, you get a free t-shirt if you bring someone in, and they do too, right? Let's just call it 16 because that's still lower. If you're able to bring in a new customer instead of the $50 ad spend at $16 for the investment in the t-shirts, that's a win. And that's a way to help make a data-driven decision about referral programs versus, like, we're always joking about like going off vibes. Like, don't just go off vibes like, oh, let me give away a free session. Let me like do this thing that will be really enticing, or rack up bills buying gift cards, but make a smart choice based on calculated business math.
I love that piece of advice. And were we not just yesterday talking to someone who was partaking in a vibe-based referral rewards program who said, I'm gonna just send them $500. And we're sort of like, oh wow, that's interesting. That's maybe seems a little high, maybe seems maybe
Yeah,
not
how did you
commensurate.
come to that
Yeah,
number?
exactly. And I think the answer was that there's an opportunity to think through it a little bit more. But I do think that most business owners are not going by the math and are going on more that vibes based. I'll just give them this because then they'll be happy and they'll do it again, but then they're going to expect that same reward again. And if
Mm-hmm.
it's too high, to your point, if it's a really high means of customer acquisition costs, I think what we love best about referral programs is that they are designed to be low cost, low effort, high reward programs. So you
That
need
is
to
the
set
whole
them up with
point.
that in mind. Yes.
Yes, I could not agree more.
Yeah. So let's talk
Um,
about some more kind of creative types
Other
of
ways to do
referral
it.
programs. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we mentioned like make it lengthening or extending the period of service. So if that's a session, that's like an extra half hour added to the session, maybe both parties, maybe just the one. Um,
Well,
or extending. Oh, good.
I was going to say, I love this one because you are not losing the value for that entire session. And I'm thinking about it in the context of like a personal trainer or a coach, where if I have a 30-minute personal training session with a client, we're like churn and burn, we're getting through some things, but I can do so much more in an hour. So this has the dual benefit of
Ooh.
rewarding them, but also potentially upselling your own
Oh, I
services
love that.
and saying, if you enjoyed this 60-minute session, do you feel like things were a little bit different? Do you feel like we had a little more opportunity to go deeper on things? And this works for coaches, consultants, anyone who is doing this type of service, that there really is more value in spending an
I
hour.
love that.
That could really be a good way to upsell your current customers as well.
Yes. And if you have sort of a package worked out already in your mind of how that you're like, well, I think this was great for us too. How do you feel about extending or expanding your existing package? And then you can segue yourself into an upsell. I love that.
Yeah.
Love. Okay. Let's like take note on that one, how we can work that into what we're doing.
Yes, totally. And I think that sort of falls along the same lines of giving someone priority access for a set period as a referral reward. So, for example, if you have 3 tiers of service. You could say for a month, I'm going to bump you into the next higher tier of service. So again, this is like an upsell opportunity for you because you're showcasing for that existing client. Here's what it looks like when we go from 1 call a month to 2 calls a month. Do you feel like you're getting more value from this? And then maybe they sign on in a future state. So these are a couple of referral reward
Like go into
ideas
an email
that,
funnel.
yeah, totally. Yeah. So
Well, and
these are a
it's
couple of ideas that are going to maybe entice your existing customers to pay you more. We
yes,
love.
which we've talked about so many times, but it never hurts to remind that the cost of getting a new customer is always higher than the cost of retaining an existing customer. It's just like straight up business 101, I think, at this point. So the more you can maintain and expand the lifetime value of your existing customers by showing them how more, better, improved, longer services are going to give them more value, right? The more likely they're going to sign up and stick with you. And in this case, become like world champion weightlifters.
We love that.
And it's also reminding me of something we've talked about before as far as lead magnets are concerned, which is like, I guess I'm connecting the dots here between a referral program and the incentive that comes with a referral program in the way that you just described, like thinking about it, and a lead magnet being a tool to solve a problem for your lead that also reveals a larger problem that you can solve if they engage with you further.
Oh, absolutely. There's an overlap there. If your referral reward can help them solve a problem while revealing another one, then that is like
Nailed
the
it.
pinnacle. You've absolutely nailed
Yeah, drop us a comment if you've
it.
done this successfully. I would love to hear case studies about this because I'm like fired up. Like, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is where I'm feeling everything that we have talked about before in this podcast so much coalesces because now you can put this person that you gave an extended session to or priority access or a higher tier of access, you add them to an automated email funnel where now there's language and messaging revolving around that. Like, how did you like your extended session? Or what were the benefits that you noticed from getting this greater access to the software? And you help them kind of go into their own thinking and plant these seeds of like, oh, yeah, like help encourage them for it to dawn on them that they now need the larger, better service.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Mhm.
love that. So,
Okay.
another thing I love when it comes to referral rewards is something that is a little more from the heart, right? And a little more personalized. And it's sort of like when you get a note in the mail from someone, right? Like you get a physical handwritten note in the mail. How often does that happen for you?
Twice a year, 3 times a year.
So I have a fabulous mother-in-law. Hello, I have a feeling that you're listening to this. So she is
Hello.
great and she sends me things all the time, little newspaper clippings, stories that I'd be interested in. She's the best and so sweet. Outside of her sending me things, I never get anything, but I love
Mm.
getting things in the mail. So could you consider, maybe not as part of a publicized referral program, but sending someone a physical thank you note or sending them a copy of a favorite book related to your field and the thing that you do, especially if you're in a service-based business like us, where we talk about concepts with our clients that are related to marketing. Is there a book that you could send that could further someone's education and just write a thank you note to them inside the front cover of the book? Like what a nice thing to receive. um and Janae, you and I were talking about before the call how there's kind of two iterations of the referral program. There's the one that you publicize widely and the one that maybe you do behind the scenes that are more of a surprise to someone. So when they
Mm.
send someone your way and you send them the thank you note, that's not something you need to tell the whole world about, but it means a lot to the person that did the referring.
Sure. And it feels like that feels so aligned for me for maybe people who are not even customers or clients, but just people in your network who believe in what you do. They know that you can do a good job. They've witnessed maybe secondhand that your business does a great job, and then they refer you. And I'm like, those are the, or just like a personal friend, right? Or other industry expert. Like we've had moments where people ask us for very specific marketing items that we're like, that's just not our specialty. And you will be in better hands with this other firm who specializes very specifically in that thing that you're asking for. And then they send us something nice to just be like, thank you so much. We know this is not part of like a specific referral program, but we just appreciate and want to acknowledge that you've done that so that you keep doing it, right? So that you keep sending people their way.
Yeah. And that's ultimately what you want from the referral program is that the thing that you did is so well received that that recipient thinks, oh my gosh, I'd like to send someone else their way. That you know what, they're a really
Yes.
good person, they're a really good business, and I want to continue to
They're
promote
a
them.
big bad business.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, here's one that I think is a good piece for a hot take is do you have to offer rewards or referrals or
No.
rewards for your referrals?
No, I don't think you do. Like I mentioned, it can be the phone call, it can be the text, it can be next time you run into someone. Hey, by the way, thank you so much. Just an in-person thank you. I mean, I think it's about the acknowledgement and the expression of gratitude. So make sure that in some way you are doing that. Make sure that a thank you is getting back to the referrer in some way. But aside from that, I don't think if you're not ready for a formal referral program or it doesn't make sense for the type of industry or business you're in, don't do it.
I would totally agree. Like maybe rewards, formal rewards don't always make sense, but I have to believe that there's almost no businesses that would not, there's a pun here somewhere, but like there's almost no businesses who would not benefit from a referral program except for ones who do crappy work and don't stand behind what they do. Because if you do a great job, like it, I believe that a referral program of any kind, even if it's a thank you note kind, like, or even if it's a behind the scenes kind, like it's, it can help, even if it's not something you're actively promoting or doing anything with, right? Like it can always help to ask people who already worked with you that like you to send you more business. Unless you have done a terrible job, in which case you don't want to be asking people to send people your way because they're going to be like, I'm not sending people your way and I'm actually leaving working with you because you did such a bad job or I want a refund or whatever it is.
Yeah, totally fair. Yeah, so one important point from a tax standpoint, though keep in mind we are not tax professionals, nor is this considered tax or financial advice. Um, Anything that you buy to give your customers as part of this referral program is considered a promotional expense, which is generally a tax deductible expense. So check in with your
Cha-ching.
CPA, but if you are buying gift cards or things like that, you can deduct them from your taxes. Same goes if you're sending t-shirts, coffee mugs, any other sort of promotional merchandise. So make sure you're doing that. That's an expense.
Gifts to clients. Yeah, tax
Yes.
deductible generally.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, let's assume our listeners are like on board. They're like, yeah, okay, I gotta get a referral program in place. I gotta get a good reward set up. But how do I even go about like starting this conversation? What advice would you offer to people who are like, I want to ask for referrals, I don't know how?
Ooh, just do it. I think that's it sounds so simple, but it is the hardest thing about asking for referrals or asking for business in general is doing the asking. And I think you and I get caught up in this sometimes with being so in our heads and what are they going to think? But ultimately, with a referral program, you're trying to help them, right? You're saying, you're someone who likes me and believes in me. Would you be willing to send someone my way? And in exchange, I will do XYZ thing or send you a thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
think
will reward
it's,
you. I will.
yeah,
Okay, it gives me the vibe of like, let's call it 2015 Facebook messages from random people I went to high school with who are like, hey, how are you? And then they try and get me into their multi-level
MLM.
marketing scheme. Yeah. And I'm just like, I didn't even answer. And I am so afraid of and like insecure of coming across that way to anyone that I know and like or would know and like me because I'm like, I'm not that way. And I don't want to like rope you into something weird. But once you get over that step and you're like, no, actually, I do something that I think people can benefit from, and there is real value in this, it doesn't feel cringe anymore. It just feels like, cool, let's offer something cool. Everyone's going to win. It's a
Yeah.
win-win.
Not MLM-y at all. So I
Away.
know we're coming up on time. So why don't you introduce the referral program that we have in place at Big Bad Marketing?
Oh, yes. Okay. I will say it's like a little bit vibes based just because it's a vibe that we love. But our referral program is if you recommend someone who signs up for us for a minimum of a 3-month program, we will send you a pizza.
A pizza. Why a pizza,
Pizza.
Janae?
Well, mainly because we both love pizza, but also because everyone else also loves pizza, and it's like it's a win-win. You're excited. It's like out there and it's fun and it's exciting, and you're gonna get a pizza, and the person you referred is gonna get the marketing services of their dreams.
And they can refer people and get a pizza too. Every
Yes.
referral gets a pizza. You get a pizza. You get a pizza.
Yes. You know you nailed it with your referral program if your newly referred people who just signed up also start referring people. Everybody wants a pizza.
Oh, yeah. So
Thanks
refer
for
someone to Big
listening.
Bad Marketing and you too could get a pizza.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Thanks for
All right.
listening.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.